Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Gooners Gone Wild podcast. It has just finished. Arsenal 2, Aston Villa 0 in a thrilling match of football. I'm here with Doc, who just hopped off our live watch along. Doc, how are you feeling after that victory?
I'm on fire right now. Oh my God. First, we'll get into everything, but it is so nice seeing the time wasting antics of Emi Martinez and Aston Villa just go down the drain and us grabbing all 3 points from that match, man. It is so satisfying. So incredibly satisfying. How are you feeling?
I'm not going to lie. I have some criticisms of this match. I was not feeling good up until about the 50th minute. Actually, I would even say the 60th minute. But with that being said, I'm ecstatic for the win. I knew this was going to be a tough battle. I knew this was going to be a tough matchup. And I'm just happy that we were able to secure our 20th clean sheet in 2 seasons. I'm going to hit you with this stat real quick. You ready? Listen to this.
Love this.
We have 20 away clean sheets for the past 2 seasons. So 2023 to 24 to 24 to 25, right? Prior to these 2 seasons, we had 20 away clean sheets total in 4 seasons combined. So we have
Absolutely nuts.
doubled our away clean sheets essentially with this timeline, which is a huge thanks to David Raya, who has come up huge today again. And when I tell you that save was celebrated, I think harder than a goal was in my household.
That's save of the season, Mark.
Yeah,
Like that is save of the season in the second match of the season. That is like a we we are 2 matches into the season, and that is a like based off of how these last seasons have gone with City, like us basically having to be perfect for an entire season in order to potentially try and win something. That is a title defining season in the second match of the season. Because if they bag that, they can just sit back and we're against the run of play for the rest of the match trying to get a goal away at Villa Park in a tough place to play. He saves that, and then eventually we go down with the Trossard sub and we bag a goal. Like, unreal. I thought it was a double save, but it looks like he didn't get his hands on the like his fingertips
yeah. The
off the
first one,
crossbar.
it
But
looks
no,
like he just barely missed it, but it just clipped the crossbar. But wow, I couldn't agree more. It is quite literally a defining moment in our season. We saw last season defining moments that happened against us. The Newcastle ball going out of play and they still counting it because there's an agenda.
I don't want to talk about that
Like a whole
anymore.
bunch of other shit like that, right? But this could be a title defending matchup, and like you even said, this is just match week 2, which is an incredible feat to think about. And yeah, it like you said, Trossard coming on to bag the goal like almost immediately after that was incredible. We then had Thomas Partey scoring his first goal since 2023, which is
Yep.
March of 2023, which was I'm very happy for him. And let's just kind of analyze the first half here a little bit. First half, going back and forth. And can I just say, you guys subscribe to the podcast because what we know ball. If you watch our podcast, our pre-match podcast,
hmm
we called exactly how this game was going to be played. The
Yeah.
technicalities kind of going out the window. It's going to be a back and forth match, counterattack versus a counterattack. There were multiple opportunities where each team was counterattacking each other, and unfortunately, no goal scored in the first half. But how are you feeling going into halftime?
Going into halftime, I felt like we were pretty lucky not to be down one, like 1-0. I thought Ollie Watkins just like pooped himself a little bit and sliced that ball straight out of bounds. I did think there was a foul on Gabriel before that
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
that didn't get called. It may have gone to VAR, but Ollie Watkins just didn't bury a chance that for his form and how he's played, he should be bagging that 90% of the time at least. 9 times out of 10, 10 times out of 10. And then I will say Emi Martinez made a really, really good save on Bukayo Saka's chance, probably our best chance of the half. We didn't really have too many chances. It was really, really back and forth the whole entire match. So first half wasn't I think it was how we expected it to go. Very back and forth. Could have gone either way, but going into the half, 0-0. I wasn't too upset about it, but definitely anxious going to the second half, knowing that I wanted us to get 3 points. How are you feeling?
Yeah, no, I couldn't agree more. I think we dominated the first half, like possession wise, I will say. Um, a little bit anxious because we all knew how we were going to come out and how Aston Villa was going to come out. It was going to be the same heavy hitters kind of go into battle, the Naruto Sasuke final battle type analogy going on right now. But I will say again, very lucky for Ollie Watkins not to bag, and I'm really hoping for his sake that that's not a pattern. Again, we kind of gave him his flowers last night, saying that Solanke was kind of like the downgrade of Ollie Watkins, but maybe not. Maybe Solanke's proving himself to be a little bit better. But again, Emi Martinez, the little fucking prick that he is, making a great save. I'm just gonna go on record here, right? Emi Martinez only signed that extension because he knows he will not start anywhere else other than Villa. Like, he will not start. Okay, let me rephrase. Like, if you're going down to like a lower sided team, or like you're gonna go to a farmers league like Germany, or I'm not gonna say Italy. Italy's actually kind of cooking right now, but Spain.
I was just about to say, I'm not gonna let you.
Spain. Maybe he'll get into a team. But in England, that's his cap is Aston Villa, and that's why he signed that extension. Because what's he good for? Wasting time? Congratulations. I don't give a fuck. You failed at Arsenal. You're gonna fail at Villa too. Fuck you. Fuck Emi Martinez. I'll die on a hill. I low-key forgot where I was going with that point. It's just always gonna be fuck Emi Martinez. All right. So let's go into the second half.
Wait, first, one thing that I wanted to ask you about prior to that. How do you feel about Timber? Because we saw him start. Like, I want to give him his time as well, because big up him, first start for Arsenal this season after coming back from a long time out due to that ACL injury. How did you feel about him? Obviously, he's getting the nod over Zinchenko and Calafiori.
That's a very good question, because I have mixed feelings about him right now. I think second half Jurriën Timber is the Timber that we all knew and love. I think he struggled a lot in the first half, and I mean a lot. Like, I was almost like, okay, he might even be subbed off in the first half, almost Nuno Tavares style. But I was a little disappointed in the first half with his performance. I will say, second half performance, he came out, he did the business. He had a great moment of defense right before he got subbed off to kind of hold up. I believe that was Leon Bailey putting the ball, putting the ball into the box, preventing that from happening. So I think once he had the halftime talk, and once we started to see him invert more into the midfield, he was a little bit more comfortable. So moving forward, I would actually like to see Timber play kind of in a center defensive mid role. And let's talk about Calafiori. Because
I told Ari, man, I'm getting his jersey immediately.
Bro, he came on and immediately beefed with Martinez. So +1 there.
Yeah.
Immediately made 2 immediate recovery tackles. And then not only did he make those recovery tackles, he picked up the ball, started the play in left back, and ended the play in right mid. Ridiculous. And his pace, I was unfamiliar with his pace. His pace is incredible. So, I feel for Timber. He got the nod. I would love to see Calafiori take the starting position, because what a baller that we have on our hands.
We said it last night. It's that Italian aura, man. It is that Italian aura. Like, we were saying, whenever he was doing that as well, Ari and I were cracking up. He's going to end up, like, he won the ball at left back, won a 50-50 ball whenever we lost it in the midfield. This dude's just going to be teleporting across the field anytime we lose the ball, winning it back, and then going back to left back.
Literally. He has it in his locker, and I'm just, very thankful that he chose the Arsenal. He only ever wanted Arsenal. You know what I mean? He only ever wanted Arsenal.
Think about that. Like, you talked about the clean sheets that we've had. Like, our back line, where you can bring off Timber. Okay, he may be having a bad game. And you can bring on a Calafiori, or even vice versa. where you can swap that out. And that's not even saying that Timber can play all across the back line and CDM. Oh, Ben White's tired.
Put him in
Timber
right back.
slides to right back. Calafiori comes into left back.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we need a ball playing left back, and Gabriel's hurt. Calafiori left side center back. Zinchenko inverting if we need to, like, or Timber staying on the left. The way that Arteta has come in and revamped this back line is unreal. How good of a job that he's done to make us what we are now. We're at 2 clean sheets out of 2 matches so far this season. I
Yeah.
believe that puts Raya at like leading the race already
Yeah.
for a back-to-back season of Golden Gloves.
Because
And
Ederson's on fraud watch. So, like, you
yeah,
saw the goal he let out this morning. Ederson's on fraud watch. So, this could be the season. This could be the season. I'm not gonna get too far into it. Let's talk about today's match though first.
okay,
um,
moving forward, you were
yeah,
saying
yeah. No, just
second half.
moving forward. Second half. Again, we already touched a little bit on that David Raya amazing save. Then Trossard comes on, and can I just say, that is a hard finish. I know it looked easy. But that is a hard clinical finish to do
Yeah.
because he has to put it through the two defenders that are already scrambling. They're kind of in like last chance mode. You still have to beat Emi Martinez, which isn't hard to do because he fucking sucks. But a great finish there from Leandro Trossard. Doc, do you think he gets the nod next game?
I don't know how you can't start him now. And I'm gonna give you Ari was saying it, and I'm gonna give you all the props for this as well, because you said it last night in our podcast, our pre-match, that Trossard doesn't need the support that Martinelli needs on that left wing. He comes in and his technical ability, his dribbling, him coming inside, which he does a lot more, being able to cycle. Like, he doesn't need as much as the support at left that Martinelli does. And even without that support, he creates so much more. And he puts himself in situations where he can create and he can bag goals. Not saying Martinelli isn't a good player. I think Leandro Trossard now, the way that we are playing currently, fits our system better. And I completely agree with you and the points that you made about Leandro Trossard just working better in our system and just being able to create more even without the support of like a Granit Xhaka or a left back that's overlapping or giving numbers on that left side. And he comes on, what was it, 30 seconds later he bags?
He bags. Yeah.
And going off of what you said, it's not an easy finish. It was a deflected ball from Kai Havertz hitting it into Rogers, is it number 27 for
Yeah.
Aston
Yeah.
Villa? And it was like a one-time finish. That's the only way that he's getting that finish off in enough time to score. It's coming right to his foot, boom, back of the net. And then
Mm-hmm.
that celebration, man, just walks over, does this, and he's just like, it's just business.
Just business. That's something I was gonna bring up to you though. Are we seeing a little bit of content there, or not content? A little bit of disappointment that he's not starting, and maybe this is this is why you got to start me. Do you think that could have
I
been part of that
I
celebration?
I 100% believe it could be. Yeah, and why not? It's like we're breeding healthy competition all across the pitch in a majority of the positions there. Less so in the midfield, more so in our attack, more so in our defense, and in some areas. But like definitely in the attack. And this is Trossard being like, I come off the bench, I produce. I start, I produce. What more do I need to do? And I
Mm-hmm.
don't think he needs to do any more. I think he gets the nod and he starts.
Yeah, I agree. And before we go into our negatives, let's talk about our other positive for the day. Thomas Partey bagging a goal in typical Thomas Partey fashion. Pull back from Saka. One-time finish with the right. Curls it into near post. Emi Martinez can't do anything about it because he has wrists made out of paper. And it's a solid 2-0 solid 2-0 scoreline, I should
Yeah.
say, for the Arsenal at this point. I mean, it's good to see. And we criticized Partey a lot last week, right? We have to give him his flowers this week.
Yeah.
What a performance he put in today.
Unreal.
It was simply unreal. I mean, that is the Thomas Partey that we thought maybe doesn't exist anymore. That maybe
Mhm.
kind of we lost throughout the years. No, he put in I would argue, a man of the match performance
Yeah.
today.
He was
And
everywhere on the pitch.
everywhere on that pitch, making passes that people were scared to make. My one criticism of this match was I feel like a lot of our players were very hesitant to make passes this time today. I don't know why, and I don't want to call Bukayo out specifically, but specifically Bukayo, there was a little bit of a hesitation between him and Ben White today, which is something we don't normally see. So I don't know if they were trying to maybe pick the lock a little too much, and maybe it was overcooking a little bit. But so many times did Ben White make that run, and he just never received the ball. So just
and that's gonna happen in some matches, though.
Oh,
It's
absolutely, absolutely.
He's not gonna get played every single time. But I do agree with you in that sense. One thing I did want to say about Saka though is I want to give him his flowers.
No, of course.
3 goal contributions in 2 matches already this season.
Fantastic.
This is an assist and then another assist.
And to build off of what you just said, for everyone out there, I said it last week in my clip. It kind of went a little. It kind of made a little bit of circulation on TikTok. Bukayo Saka is probably gonna make a big fight for the best winger of the season, and I will say that people were saying that he hit his ceiling. He's only a one trick, the cutback, the shifting it to his left. No, today he was able to reintegrate his game, to reinvent his game. And we saw him absolutely boss it on that right-hand side of the pitch. And he definitely did not hit his ceiling. We're going to see much more from Bukayo Saka.
Oh,
and I was able to stall just enough time for Doc to come back. Let's go. I'm so excited.
Yeah. My internet keeps on cutting out and coming back, cutting out and coming back. Probably because my roommate is just grinding Baldur's Gate right now.
There you go. All right, so let's talk about the criticisms, the negatives.
I'm going to let you take the floor because I want to hear what you have to say about probably one player in particular.
All right, so I am not scared to put names on blast that they had poor games, okay? I think we made that very clear on previous podcasts. We talked a little bit about Martinelli last night, the omnidirectional... the lack of creativity that we're seeing from him recently. 3 times that I see the exact same play. He dribbled, he cut back to the right, looked up, didn't see anyone, took it back to his left, head down, sprinted down to the touchline, either overcooked a cross, undercooked a cross, or just ran it out of bounds. 3 times within the whole first half. When you are the starting left winger for Arsenal, and you are part of this lethal front 3 that we're starting to create, you got to be able to reinvent your game. Like I said, Saka reinvented his game this season. Martinelli needs to reinvent his game, and unfortunately, we're not seeing it. And it was really frustrating to watch today from Martinelli. But that's not who I'm going to call out. Okay?
Oh,
that's not who I'm going to call out. Declan Rice, I think, had the worst
you were gonna
game
say this.
in an Arsenal shirt to date. That was a very, very hard watch of Declan Rice today. And again, I'm not going to say that he's a bad player at all. I don't want anyone to take this out of context and to think that I'm saying Declan Rice is a horrible player, that he's past his peak, whatever.
Take it out of context. It'll give us more content.
Yeah, Declan Rice sucks. No kidding. But what I will say is we saw in the Euros, he was forced to play very negative football. He was forced to play sideways passes, forced to play backwards passes, not in that advanced role under Southgate. And Declan Rice came under fire so much from England fans, so much that it really hurt his confidence. And I think we're just seeing an unconfident Declan Rice right now. We're seeing a Declan Rice who is losing out to the likes of Onana, who had a fantastic game today. I have to give him his flowers. Losing out to Rodgers, again, got to give him his flowers. But when you're losing easy 50-50 tackles, and when you're starting to second-guess yourself, you're pulling up with cramp in 65th minute. It shows me that you're tired, it shows me that you're not confident, and it shows me you're not ready to play for Arsenal. And I would say that to Saliba, if that was the case. I would say that to Odegaard, my favorite player, if that's the case. But seeing Rice kind of panic throughout that whole game makes me a little worried about that pivot in the midfield. We saw when we got 2-0 up, he found his confidence again, and started to wake up there towards the end of the match. He made some great runs. He even had, I believe, the pullback to Odegaard, who Odegaard got unfortunate. And, you know, players are allowed to make one mistake. All right? Players are allowed to make one mistake. But if you see all that Odegaard has done throughout the game, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it.
That you don't miss those.
It took a bobble. It's fine.
It's on his left.
It took a bobble. It's fine.
He
took a Bible. It took a
Okay,
bobble.
back
it's
to
fine.
anyway,
Declan Rice.
back to Declan Rice.
That's I think that Mikel Moreno is going to push him. I do think Mikel Moreno shoves Partey out of the side, and then Declan Rice will shift back into where Thomas Partey is playing. I think that's what's going to happen. I think that's what's best for him right now. I think his attacking prowess is just not quite where it needs to be right now. And then I have one more player I got to call out. One more. Gabriel. All right. There's a few missed plays, few missed touches. Nah, you know what?
I'll
go with those two. I'll just go with those two.
The one thing that I would say about Gabriel was he had one or two like shaky moments where you're like, oh, is this the Gabriel that we saw like a few seasons ago, where he would have like one or two moments that would give the other team the opportunity to score. And I don't think that was necessarily the case, because the moment that happened, where he gave the ball away in the midfield, but it ended up going out for a throw in, something like that, he looks over like at Saliba, pissed off. It's like, why did you give me the ball in that situation?
True.
It's like they're holding each other accountable. They're like pushing each other in that sense. So I don't necessarily agree with the Gabriel one.
Yeah, I'll take that back. I'll take that back.
The Declan Rice one, I can agree with to an extent. I think he just had a tough game. I think he got outplayed in the midfield, which will happen to a midfielder. I think he got put in the spin cycle by Rodgers bad. And then I think he just struggled, especially in that first half, but he came into the game a little bit more in the second half. I do think with Mikel Merino coming in that he is going to be slid back to the 6. Partey's going to be out as like coming in and helping out in that 6 role or the 8 role. And I do think Merino is going to be starting in that 8 role. So I think our midfield is going to end up Declan Rice, Merino, and Odegaard. But the one that kills me is the Martinelli one, because I want him to do so well. I really, really want him to do so well. And I know all of us want him to do well, because we want to see the Martinelli that we saw 2 seasons ago, whenever he was just cooking on the left wing. And last season, we saw him struggle throughout the whole season. And this season, unfortunately, I think we're seeing the same thing, because other teams have figured him out, in a sense. And like you had said, reinventing your game a little bit. I don't think he has as much of the tools to reinvent himself at this point in time yet, compared to what we're getting from Trossard. So I do definitely agree with that one, and the fact that Rice had a rough game. But like, you're going to have players that have rough games like that, and then you need other players around them to be able to step up. Partey had a man of the match performance. Trossard comes on and performs. Saka played well. Havertz did pretty well up top as well, playing the whole 90 minutes.
Absolutely.
Because we're without Jesus, who again is hurt
on the hospital table.
So as a whole, I think it was a very, very good performance, and we did exactly what we needed to do, which was get 3 points, which we weren't able to do last season at Villa Park or against Villa at all in both matches. So that's big. I think this was the first match. Oh wait, no, it wasn't. Chelsea played City. I was gonna say this was. Oh wait, this was. I stand corrected. This was the first match of the top 4 sides from last season.
Yes, it was. It was.
Yeah.
You thought Chelsea was top 4? What the fuck?
I almost forgot. Chelsea wasn't even close to top 4 last season.
Nowhere close.
No. I was thinking Big 6, but I wouldn't even know if they're in that anymore either. Big 6 in terms of number of players that they have in their first team. But
and Big 6 of financial fair play charges coming down the pipeline. Yeah. All right, so
who's
before
your man of the match?
I was just about to say that to you. Oh shit!
Same mind. Same wavelength.
My man of the match today, I'm gonna give it to Martin Odegaard. No, kidding. You know what?
If you would have backed that goal, I would have given it to him.
Yeah. My man of the match is gonna go to David Raya.
Same brain.
My man of the...
Take it away. Why are we giving David Raya the man of the match?
Oh, we're giving David Raya the man of the match because, first of all, I mean, this is the second game out of 2 games where he made game-defining saves. Simple as that. And I think you could argue the last game that, okay, that save maybe was an easier save than this one, and that's why maybe other players deserved it. No, that save is world class. That save is world class, and no ifs, ands, or buts about it. That was a game changing moment, like we touched about earlier. It led to a goal right after it, and I just think it was such an incredible moment where my jaw was on the floor. And I think if any player can make you drop your jaw in the middle of a game, they deserve the man of the match. So I'm going to give it to David Raya. What is your reasoning behind it?
Like, again, very solid performance. Second clean sheet in a row. Away at Villa Park. I think he's just been very solid. Last season, we talked about the reason that he got his Golden Glove was probably more so due to the back line that we had. This season so far, if he gets Golden Glove, the reason is because he is a fucking goated keeper. And he has been playing so well and has made 2 incredible saves, one last match and one this match already, to like put him in contention for the best keeper in the Prem so far. So I think he is definitely the man of the match compared to everybody that was on the pitch. I think a close second, I would probably give it to Thomas Partey.
Yeah,
just for
I
his
would agree with
performance
that.
overall. But I have to give it to Raya for sure.
I absolutely agree with both points. I want to give an honorable mention to a non-Arsenal player, and that is Rodgers. I think if that game was a draw or Aston Villa got the result, I would give Rodgers man of the match.
He was unreal.
And he just simply played very well. So with that being said, we are going to wrap up our post-match reactions. We will see you later on in the week for our next prediction. I believe we play Brighton next.
Yeah, we do.
We play Brighton next, so we will
7:30 a.m.
Oh, we will. We will see you guys later on in the week for our 3rd episode of the Gooners Gone Wild podcast, where we talk about our pre-match predictions. Hopefully, welcoming the arrival of Mikel Merino to the Arsenal this week as well. And as always, a big W in Villa Park. Away days, 2 clean sheets out of 2. Come on, you Gunners.
You Gunners.